California's juvenile prison.
The California Youth Authority is nothing but a warehouse.
They have no rehabilitation whatsoever for our children.
And you've got kids in there from as young as 12 up to 25.
They're making money off our children. They're not helping them. The children's supposed to go in there getting counseled, getting rehabilitated, getting educated, and none of this is happening.
Nobody's listening, nobody's seeing it.
And nobody cares.
The California Youth Authority is a national tragedy. That's what it is. My son spent 6 years for an accidental fire in which nobody got hurt. I would say 4 of it he spent in solitary confinement. I don't know how you undo that kind of psychological abuse. We were all told by the judge that our kids were going in there for treatment, and they would get programs to deal with their situation. My son has served 6 years and now he's in county jail. He said he couldn't handle freedom, and he's part of the statistic. And I thought, going to visit him every Sunday, and when you come up once and you see your child come out for visiting shaking because he's so hungry, you go through this whole, it's hard to explain. They know what I'm feeling. That all you want to do, I would spend $30, up to $30 in vending machine food just to know that my son was stuffed with food, thinking in my mind, I guess, that he'll be okay for a week because I just fattened him up, so he's got plenty of food in him for a week. And then you find out that they throw away leftovers. They won't give the kids more food to eat. They'll throw it away instead.
I called the cops on my kid. You know why? I did it to save his life. Because I knew it. If I didn't do it, my son was gone. If he was already doing drugs. When the judge told me this will be the best place for him, he will be rehabilitated, I expected that CYA was going to provide that help that me as a parent or my nuclear family could not give my son at that particular time. And they should, the same way they impose those 23 hours locked up, they should impose the psychological help, because like I said it and I repeat myself again, it takes a long journey how they got there. It didn't start it just like that. When my son was locked up in a solitary confinement, he was locked up for 5 months because he attempted against his life. So instead of helping my kid, they locked him up in a cell, which it was dark and stink. And I didn't know what was happening. No one told me anything. At that time, my son was 17 years old, so it was still under my jurisdiction as a parent. My son went for 18 months, and he did 5 years. Because CYA has a method of adding more time and more time for write-ups that can be very insignificant. And as my sister said it right here, these are our kids.
My son went in at 16 for carjacking, him and another young man. And they also charged him with robbery because the young man that was with him got away and he took the lady's purse. So he did a total of 4 years. He picked up another charge for an assault in there, and he's facing prison time. I'll just put it like that. He's facing prison time, and he's 23 years old. So the majority of his young male life has been spent behind bars. I think a lot of it started, if he could have just got justice when he first got in there, I think a lot of stuff that kind of came after could have been avoided. Because we're going to start with education and rehabilitation, because he went in there for 4.5 years, and he came out and he wasn't even educated yet. He hadn't even got a diploma or anything. They need to be trying to get them whatever help they need. Go into the homes. I'm just keeping it real. When you get a child and they come through the court system, then it's time to reevaluate what's happening with the child, what's happening with the parents, and then you come in with your checkbook then. See, because there's money there. You come in with your checkbook. How can I help this family get on the right track? How can I help this child stay out the system? No, the first thing they do is snatch that child up from out of the arms of their parents, out of the home of their sisters and brothers. I don't even want to even accept the knowledge what Christmas is anymore. Mother's Day, give me a break. 4th of July, my son's birthday runs around, what is it, the 1st of September? Is that Memorial Day, Labor Day? Who wants to barbecue and cook and have a good time? My youngest child, she's 15 years old, she told me about 4 months ago, she said, Mama, you will never be happy until our brother is free. She said, the life that we live, we'll never live that life again until my brother is free. I got involved with an organization called Books Not Bars. It was a day I was visiting my son back in 2004. It's a campaign that's been going on for like 2 years now to close down the California Youth Authority. And I'm an organizer now, and I became an organizer for Books Not Bars with a permanent position as of August the 1st. We go into Stockton to outreach and sign up parents, siblings, to get them aware of what's happening inside those facilities with their children.
Well, there's a saying that strength is number. We can only become strong if there is many of us parents showing that we care for our children. So part of our job is to come, educate this parent, invite them to come to our meeting, because that's a part of education, help them out how to advocate for their children, because their children have rights and parents do have some rights.
We got 16 new candidates to help us promote our cause.
Books Not Bars are coming deep, and like I said, we're turning up the heat.
I don't want more parents to go through the agonizing pain that I'm being through and that I'm still going through, because not only your children do time, we parents do time with our children.
The bottom line is they were supposed to get help and rehabilitation. There is no excuse for starving them. There is no excuse for physical, mental, sexual abuse.
In this long journey that I've been through, I have met so many brilliant boys. I mean brilliant.
If society and the system don't think we miss this young man, see, because I know what I put into my son, and I know what he could have got from society and the system if they would have kicked in and did what they were supposed to have done for him since he had fell off track. I know, he could have been an excellent sport player. He played all 3 sports. He rapped and do poetry like the sunrise, like the sunrise. I can't say it no better. And that's just how uplifting my son's spirit is to me.
They have no rehabilitation whatsoever for our children, and we're not exactly protecting the public. Because when these children comes out, their rage is higher. Their pain much worse than when they went in. We preach democracy. We preach amnesty, world amnesty. What about the children amnesty? And I believe our children are savable. I believe our children are redeemable. I don't believe they are disposable. We're not doing our job as a society.